Lesnar, Carwin, UFC 116, Saturday, July 3rd. Check your local listings.
Brock Lesnar versus Shane Carwin is like two gorillas locked in a cage. These are the very biggest, most dangerous guys in the sport.
Since the dawn of time, people have loved to watch the big guys go at it. They filled the arenas 2,000 years ago, and they're filling the arenas now.
Over 20,000 in attendance tonight.
People want to see the giants go at it. Foreman, Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Brock Lesnar.
Countdown every day. I look forward to seeing Brock's face across that octagon. And it's lights out when my fists hit him.
Shane Carwin! There hasn't been a heavyweight fight of this caliber in any sport, boxing or mixed martial arts, in a long time. Can you see me now? Huge, the undisputed UFC heavyweight champion.
UFC heavyweight champion Brock Lesnar puts his belt on the line against interim champ Shane Carwin. And heavy-handed middleweight slugger Chris Leben takes on former K1 light heavyweight champ Yoshihiro Akiyama. The countdown to UFC 116 starts now.
Since I've been in the UFC, I've been at peace with myself. I finally found who I am. Brock Lesnar, he's not a pro wrestler. He's not a football player. Brock Lesnar is the UFC heavyweight champion.
Brock Lesnar is a scary individual. He's one of the most dangerous men in the world.
If Brock Lesnar was living 2,000 years ago, we'd be sacrificing virgins to him. They would have to tie up a woman in front of his cave, you know, every weekend or something, you know? I mean, he's a killer.
Shane Carwin has to cut weight to make 265 pounds. Shane Carwin's undefeated. Not only has he never been beat, nobody's ever made it out of the first round with Shane Carwin, including Gabe Gonzaga and Frank Mir.
Carwin just exploded.
He knocks everybody out.
Shane Carwin pounding away.
The fans out there have been craving a heavyweight fight like this for a long time. We'll both be at the heavyweight limit. It's not going to get any bigger, and you're not going to get any more athletic guys in there than what we are.
He might be as tall as I am, and he might weigh the same as I do, but there's a whole nother level of athleticism here that we're talking about.
There has never been a more perfect matchup for Brock Lesnar.
Last July, in his first title defense, Brock Lesnar took on two-time former heavyweight champion Frank Mir.
Let's hook him up. Good luck.
In the weeks leading up to the fight, tensions ran high.
I'm working on the intricacies of details of maneuvers that he still doesn't even know the names of.
He's a glorified karate kid with a golden horseshoe up his ass.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to have a clean fight. Touch gloves, just make it official.
We really expected Frank to go after the legs again, and we were right on the money with that.
Frank dives down, he's got a hold of a leg, and he slips to half guard.
I was pretty confident that once Brock got him down, he was going to be able to control him in that position.
Got Frank Mir to the ground, got him in this crazy one-arm crucifix where all Frank had to defend himself was like one hand.
He's controlling Frank's head and punching him in the face, and these are hard punches.
Once you trap that hand, it's basically nothing but your face sitting there.
He is doing a lot of damage here, Mike. Frank Mir's nose is bleeding. His cheek is all bruised up. You got those big lunch boxes slamming into your face. That's not a lot of fun.
And then he just beat his face to chop me.
Yeah, he is doing a lot of damage here, Mike. Frank's defense is big trouble. That's it. That's it. It's there. And it's all over. He's out. Brock Lesnar is the undisputed UFC heavyweight champion.
Even then he wasn't happy. He got in Mir's face and started screaming at him. That's the kind of guy he is. Brock Lesnar is a mean dude.
Frank had really gotten under his skin there for the 8 weeks prior to it with the little statements about his jiu-jitsu and his submission wrestling.
I know that Brock doesn't train as hard as I do. If it was arm wrestling, I'd be in trouble, you know?
And I think that stuff kind of stuck to him.
Emotions. 17 months of having to put up with constant berating of this, that, and the other thing.
8 weeks to listen to that mud flap go. I thought it was more fun beating the out of her and talking about him.
I think when Brock Lesnar's done with a fight, he needs a 5-minute cooling period.
That's not going to win him any fans. I don't think he cares at all.
Remember Marty looking at me and I'm looking at him. I was like, oh, we lost him. There he goes.
When you see him out there getting fired up, don't put a microphone in front of him.
Frank Mir had a horseshoe up his ass. I told him that. I pulled that down and I beat him over the head with it.
I think a lot of people were disappointed with the double finger whammy to the crowd. I was, I cringe at it. That's not my style.
Whether you like it or not, this is real. And if you don't like it...
That's what Brock Lesnar does. I mean, that's him. That's real. That's not like an act he puts on.
I'm here to win, and I'm here to collect my money. This is my job, people. My job.
He's a country boy. He likes to hunt, he likes to fish, and he likes to beat the shit out of dudes, and that's what he does best.
People just want to see me get my ass whooped.
Brock Lesnar pounding away on Randy Couture.
Don't be mad that I'm going to win, and I'm going to continue to be the heavyweight champion.
Brock's antics upset fight fans around the world, but only one of them has a chance to do anything about it.
The sport of mixed martial arts, what it has taught me is discipline and respect. It's the first thing when you go to any type of class. Whether or not Brock has taken a class, I don't know.
I don't think anybody likes the bulliness in Brock, and Shane just wants to kick it at him.
The day after Brock defeated Frank Mir, Shane Carwin reacted on his blog, writing, "The flipping off of the fans is just lame. He may be a champion, but he has a long ways to go before he earns the respect of a champion."
I just felt like the fans needed to know that the vast majority of the fighters, we're not like that.
Shane doesn't like any of the showboat and any of that nonsense. Shane just really enjoys being himself. There's other guys that walk around with their chest out. I mean, this guy's born with the chest. He doesn't have to stick out.
The very first thing he did after the fight was disrespected Frank. There's always going to be words and the hype before the fight, but after the fight, do you think your opponent raised his hand with yours for getting in there and competing with you?
Somebody got into the cage, went to war with you, went to battle. What Brock did, that was some WWE stuff. Go back to the fake fighting if that's what you want to do. That's not what we do. Brock was an ass, and Shane said it.
That's just who Brock is as a person. He comes across like that to everybody, I'm a complete 180 from that guy. But when we step into that octagon, talking's not going to get you away from me. It's my fists, and it's lights out when my fists hit him.
The fact that Shane Carwin hates Brock Lesnar makes the fight that much better. And Brock Lesnar hates everybody anyway, so he already hates Shane Carwin. no matter what.
This is my time. It's not Shane Carwin's time. The sun comes up, the sun goes down. I'm still the champion.
Brock Lesnar was originally scheduled to defend his title against Shane Carwin last November at UFC 106. But just 4 weeks before the fight, Brock found himself struggling to make it through even the simplest workouts.
Very strong. I just knew that for the longest time something hadn't felt right, you know. Being an athlete my whole life, you know, you just kind of put your head down and roll with the punches and keep going, you know. I just did not feel very good. I knew something wasn't right.
Something was definitely wrong because, you know, he couldn't train consistently for more than a day and a half.
Every day I would wake up just really tired, have a small pain in my stomach, but I thought, you know, the flu was going around. I went to the doctor numerous different times, and they did all the blood panel and different tests. I was diagnosed with mononucleosis, and I was like, this is really weird.
Unable to train, Brock pulled out of the fight. He traveled to remote Manitoba, Canada for a week of deer hunting.
No cell phone, no computer. You just get up there and get away from everything and think about life a little bit and get over whatever I had. Well, then when I got up there was no getting over. It was just the beginning. I woke up at 11 p.m. in severe pain, and that's when my stomach had enough and it ruptured. I was in bed and told my wife to get my brother and I got to get to a hospital. And here I am, this guy that really thinks that I'm invincible, you know, and until I was flat on my back in the doctor's office in severe shock and pain, you know, when it finally exploded on me, that's when I realized, oh, crap, there's something really wrong. And I didn't have any control of my surroundings at that time. I went pretty wacko. I was scared. For the first time in my life, very scared.
Canadian doctors determined that Brock was suffering from diverticulitis, large abscesses in his intestinal walls. Without treatment, the condition can be fatal.
I had a hole in my stomach, and I was exerting free air into my diaphragm.
Brock left Canada and headed back to the U.S.
Brock wasn't happy with the treatment that he was getting, so he literally jumped in his wife's car, and they drove down to North Dakota.
When I got to Bismarck, I was still in shock and still had a fever. Right away, they put me on antibiotics. They wanted my body to heal itself, because if they didn't do that, then they were going to have to take that part of my stomach out of me. I would have been forced to wear a colostomy bag.
Going through the surgery would keep him out for possibly 1.5 to 2 years, and the possibility of never fighting again.
And the very first night in the hospital, I had 104.3 temperature. And at the 7.5-hour mark, they wheeled me into the operating room, and they were going to perform surgery on me. It was a weird thing. I got in there, and my fever broke. And my temperature started coming down, which is a sign of my body starting to heal itself.
Slowly, Brock began to mend.
I went almost full 2 weeks without putting any food into my mouth. I had 2 PICC lines in me because they didn't want my stomach working. They wanted my stomach just to chill and to heal itself. I was in the hospital, I think, 13.5 days.
On November 17th, Brock returned home, but the ordeal was far from over.
I was still in a lot of pain. I mean, when I was coming off of the pain medication, I thought I was going to have to be put in the straitjacket. I can remember getting home and just standing in the shower and just sobbing because I was just in shock because I was trying to get off of pain medication. but I did it. I did it all by myself. I quit. I got off from cold turkey, and which was probably not the smartest way to do it. But there's only one way that I learned, and that's the hard way.
In December, Brock took another big step, returning to the gym.
He changed his diet. He started reading up on it, saw a bunch of specialists, and started doing a lot of holistic stuff. He goes in and gets tested again, and the doctor literally said, "This is incredible. This is amazing. I can't believe how much it's healed up."
We did it really, really smart. Monitoring his heart rate and his diet and his sleeping patterns. Never let his heart rate get up to a place where it wouldn't come back down. And if his heart rate's too high and he woke up in the morning, we'd skip a workout. From there, it just kind of kept escalating, and his motivation kept getting stronger and stronger. His enthusiasm picked up.
I feel great. I wake up every morning, and I'm just thankful for my family, and thankful just to even be in training camp now, and with this great opportunity to get back in the octagon.
He does look better. His diet is meticulous now, and you put that into a regimented training program, an intense one, and his conditioning is by far better than it's ever been.
I've known Brock since he weighed 160 pounds, and he's never looked this good to me ever.
He's a monster. He's stronger right now than I think he's ever been.
I've had certain hurdles happen to me throughout my life, and they've always made me stronger and better, and I guess this was just one of them. I just want to continue to be one bad mother. You know what?
Shane Carwin has spent 11 months waiting for his shot at the title.
When I got the call and they said the fight wasn't going to happen, it was like a rug being ripped out from underneath you. Getting a shot at the title is, what everybody covets, and I had earned my shot and it got taken away from me. So I was devastated.
While Brock mended, Shane was matched up with former champ Frank Mir for the interim title.
Frank Mir fought Czech Congo. Frank took out Congo. It was a convincing win.
Frank has a deep, deep guillotine here. He's gone left. He's out. Submits Czech Congo.
Frank was just, the semifinal match to get to the finals again. Frank's fought Brock twice.
Brock Lesnar!
Went 1-on-1 with him, and it was my turn to go up against Frank and see how I did.
Big fight. This is the power part of Carwin. Control and bubble.
I think Frank, when he was against the cage, the thing that he was focusing on most was not getting taken down.
These short punches of Shane Carwin are very dangerous.
And when it's in close like that on dirty boxing, people usually don't have the power to knock you out.
There's a left by Carwin, a couple of big uppercuts. Frank Mir's in trouble. Frank Mir's in big trouble. Carwin just exploded. He's out. Shane Carwin!
The UFC interim heavyweight champion, Shane Carwin!
It's a lifetime of work right here. Yeah.
It's always been a dream of mine since I've been a kid to be a professional athlete and be at the top and be successful. I was just proud for myself and everybody that's helped me in every step and every achievement along the way.
I scrambled Frank's eggs 6 months ago, so it's hard to unscramble eggs. for Shane to get in and to do something that I've already did, and for him to stand there and hold a fake title, I found it rather amusing.
That's the wrong belt you're wearing. I got the championship belt. That's the bottom line, buddy.
Brock's words mean nothing to me. Frank was a bigger, better, stronger version of Frank Mir than Brock Lesnar ever fought.
A lot of people were questioning Shane Carwin. After that fight with Frank Mir, people know that Shane Carwin's for real now.
Wow, that is some serious power!
I feel more deserving of the shot. When that cage door closes, I get the chance to go after people and try to take their heads off, and that's exactly what I'm going to do to Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I feel no threat by him whatsoever. I don't feel any threats by anybody.
The craziest thing about Brock Lesnar is that he only has 5 mixed martial arts fights. If you see the difference between him in the first Frank Mir fight and him in the second Frank Mir fight.
Well, you notice, too, Brock's trying to stay chest on chest. He doesn't want to leave any gap.
It's only a couple years time span, but man, as far as like how much better he got, he was way better in that second fight.
His learning curve continues to grow.
I'm 3 fights in and I'm the UFC heavyweight champion. I got 2 years of training, 3 years at the most. I'm just scratching the surface, baby.
He just plain loves to do it. He really thinks this is where his calling is, and that's something that I think should be a little bit more worrisome for the people out there.
He's got that killer instinct. Natural-born killer.
I'm the best heavyweight fighter in the world. And I'll prove it.
Man, I can't wait for this.
Coming up.
Shane is a very intelligent guy.
Very well spoken, very calm and articulate person.
Shane should be smart enough to understand that he's not good enough to beat Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar versus Shane Carwin. I would never say one of those guys is scarier than the other guy, because then I would have to run into one of them somewhere and he would say, oh, you thought he was scarier? And I would my pants, and then it wouldn't be fun.
I told my wife I'm about to have a baby. I was like, baby, give me one hall pass. Give me one hall pass, because I got to be there for this. I cannot wait to see if this cage can even hold these two. And they're not guys that run around. These guys go toe-to-toe.
Physically, they're very much alike. But personality-wise, they're probably polar opposites.
Shane is a very intelligent guy.
Very well spoken, very calm and articulate person. Not the type of guy you would think would make a living in a cage beating the out of dudes.
And Brock is, you know, he likes that ego part of it, and that's just who Brock is too. And you know, you have to accept them for who they are.
This is my time. It's not Shane Carwin's time. Shane should be smart enough to understand that he's not good enough to beat Brock Lesnar.
So far, no one's been good enough to beat Shane Carwin.
Shane Carwin remains unbeaten.
Of his 12 opponents, 7 have been knocked out, and 5 more submitted.
Shane Carwin has defeated Frank Mir.
Shane Carwin's a beast.
Shane Carwin.
Shane Carwin's a threat. He's a real dangerous guy.
Big power displayed by Shane Carwin.
He's a giant man, 265 pounds, devastating power, great wrestling skills.
Easy takedown.
Both of these guys cut to 265. They're both huge, explosive, powerful monsters. They're both great wrestlers, and they can both knock you out.
I think I would like to keep it on the feet, but being able to take him down and pounding on him would be great too.
Shane Carwin pounding away.
We're going to see what happens when Brock has to deal with someone who's just as good of a wrestler, just as strong, just as agile.
Once Brock gets him on the ground, it's going to be very difficult for him to get up. Being underneath Brock on the ground sucks.
He is doing a lot of damage here, Mike. You got those big lunch boxes slamming into your face. That's not a lot of fun.
It's like being a little seal under a killer whale.
We're just going to see how good of a wrestler he really is. If he wants to wrestle, then I'll take him to school.
Both men enter with significant wrestling credentials. Brock was the 2000 NCAA Division I national champion. Shane won the Division II title in '99. But Brock's not impressed.
That's why there's different divisions, because not everybody can be at the Division I level. There's other divisions for these other guys that don't quite have what it takes. So these guys don't go and hang themselves at the end of the day.
The number 1 and 2 guys in the world right now for the U.S. are both Division II wrestlers. If he wants to attack my credentials as being a D2 national champ, bring it on, buddy. I will gladly do a wrestling match on the side with you. And in fact, I'll do anything athletically against you that you want to, because I know I'm the better athlete.
On one issue, there's no debate. Shane Carwin is the biggest opponent of Brock Lesnar's career.
To tell you how big Shane Carwin is, Brock Lesnar has to wear 4XL gloves, okay? Shane Carwin wears 5XL gloves. His hands are actually bigger than Brock's.
Shane Carwin brings in devastating one-punch power that Brock Lesnar has to be aware of.
Don't blink at all when Carwin fights. He is a beast.
He hasn't faced that in any of the fights that he's had before.
Shane has that touch your chin with his fists and you go to sleep type of power. Gabriel Gonzaga, one punch, good night. Christian Wallace. Mouthpiece flying out. Out.
It's lights out when my fists hit him.
If my fists hit him. And the thing is, Brock's never been knocked out.
Throughout my whole collegiate career, I've faced guys that claim to be bigger, stronger, faster. But there's one thing that they don't mention, and that's more talented. I'm just more talented.
And here we go!
I know that I can take a shot and go through adversity. We haven't seen that on Brock.
I haven't had to do that because I've dominated every fight I've been in. If you want to stand around and take punches, Shane, you're not going to last very long.
He's going to sit there and talk a bunch of about me. I expect that. But once you step into the octagon, it doesn't matter because the fists do the talking.
I don't have any question mark when I step in the octagon who's going to get their hand raised. I'm going to win.
When my hands touch people, they go down. I don't care how big you are. When they close that cage and I see Brock across from me, I want to tear him apart.
Before the Titans clash for the heavyweight title, one of MMA's biggest international stars will test himself against one of the toughest middleweights in the world.
Chris is looking to turn this into a brawl.
Chris Leben is a very tough fighter.
Leben throwing big time.
He can beat guys up in the clinch. He can knock guys out from range. He can take guys down, beat on them from the top, and he can submit guys.
I'm going to go in and do what I do. That's knock people out.
Sakara trying to survive. Tries to hit it.
And everybody's going to go home happy.
The Tripler. Bloodied up, but not beaten.
UFC 116 will be only the second U.S. fight for Yoshihiro Akiyama, but the former K1 Grand Prix champ and judo gold medalist has been filling stadiums in Asia for years.
The Japanese people and the Koreans love Akiyama.
Of Korean descent, Akiyama is fourth-generation Japanese.
それは在日っていうその日本では言い方をします。
My great-grandfather moved here from Korea, so I'm considered Japanese of Korean origin. I wear both flags when I fight. I've been fighting as long as I can remember. I started judo when I was just 3 years old. I loved judo because you get to throw people around. By the time I was 21, I was good enough to compete internationally.
In 2001, Akiyama won gold representing South Korea in the Asian Championships. A year later, he won the Asian Games while a member of the Japanese team.
よりたくさんの人に知ってもらうようになりました。
That victory is when I started to gain fame here in Japan.
In 2004, he entered MMA.
2004年にアテネのオリンピック
I was trying to qualify for the Athens Olympics for the national team. When I didn't make the team, I was looking for an opportunity to challenge myself. I decided to make the transition to MMA.
Akiyama won 12 of his first 13 fights, including an armbar of dangerous striker Melvin Manhoff to capture the K1 Heroes title, and a first-round knockout of Dennis Kang. His popularity soared when he recorded a hit song and married a model.
私の嫁は今
My wife is very successful. She appears in different commercials and TV shows in Japan. We are a fairly popular couple.
Akiyama did some modeling himself and earned a nickname.
Sexyama.
The fans now call me Sexyama. When I first heard it, I was embarrassed. But it's grown on me. I kind of like it.
Now, Sexyama is ready to make a different walk into the octagon.
I've always wanted to fight in the UFC. The best fighters are there, and I want to challenge the world.
There has never been an Asian-born champion in the UFC, and few have had any success. Akiyama plans to change that.
I want to be like Manny Pacquiao. I want to prove that Asian fighters can compete with anybody. A victory will ignite the Asian mixed martial arts world, and the people in the US will begin to recognize me.
Up next.
Powerful shots by Akiyama.
Akiyama doesn't care who you are, what you've done, who you've beat. He's going to come out and go toe-to-toe with you.
Wow! The case with Akiyama is the case with anybody. If they decide they want to stand in front of me and bang, they're going to hit the canvas.
Last July, in his UFC debut, Yoshihiro Akiyama earned Fight of the Night honors in his victory over Alan Belcher.
Yoshihiro Akiyama!
But Akiyama hasn't fought in nearly a year. During that period, his opponent, Chris Leben, has taken out Jay Silva and undefeated Aaron Simpson.
Simpson's in trouble. Aaron Simpson's hurt. And it is all over!
Coming into Aaron Simpson, I need to show the world that Chris Leben is on the top of his game and he deserves to be in the top tier of the UFC.
Big time speed advantage for Simpson.
He came out really hard, and my main goal was just self-preservation.
Nearing the midway point of the fight and Leben taking advantage.
Then second round, I watched him try to shoot and take me down again. Once he couldn't take me down, you just saw his heart just kind of drop. He realized, oh crap, I'm out of gas. I can't take him down no more. Now I'm in trouble. It was pretty easy to go in for the kill after that.
Leben looking for some big ground and pound. Simpson's in trouble. Aaron Simpson's hurt. And it is all over!
Leben takes on a fighter with an international reputation.
Sexy Yama, right? Funny thing about me is that the more I'm on TV, the sexier I get. That's a repercussion of what I do in the cage. This guy's worried about how pretty he looks, his Japanese soap operas and running around with supermodels. That's great for me because I'll tell you what, that's not my forte. Fighting in the cage is my forte. So, I'll let him be sexy, and he can be sexy that gets knocked out.
Yoshihiro Akiyama is a powerful judo player with knockout power in his hands.
Akiyama landed a very nice right hand there. Oh, big right uppercut.
Akiyama doesn't care who you are, what you've done, who you beat. He's going to come out and go toe-to-toe with you.
Powerful shots by Akiyama.
He's a judo guy that likes to stand and bang. He kind of fancies himself as being a slick stand-up fighter, but, at the same time, I don't really think he's all that slick.
Akiyama trains with the best strikers in Japan. He's never been hurt and always keeps them on their heels.
The case with Akiyama is the case with anybody. If they decide they want to stand in front of me and bang, they're going to hit the canvas.
I'm not afraid to go for the knockout. If I see an opening, I'll try to make it happen. And if I see an opportunity to take him down, I'll do that too.
This guy's a good judo guy, but he's not a world-class wrestler. I don't see him taking me down. I definitely don't see him holding me down. His only option is going to be to stand and bang with me.
Wait, he caught him on the left there. Good exchange. Leben has got an iron chin.
Don't bang with Leben. That's stupid. That's a terrible game plan. Leben can knock him out.
I'm like a meat and potatoes fighter, You're not going to see spinning back kicks. You're not going to see all kinds of crazy, flashy stuff like Mr. Sexy likes to do. You're going to see a blue-collar American go in there and get his job done.
Where did that come from?
This could end up being fight of the night. And saying that on a card where Shane and Brock is the main event.
Wow!